So come down, feet flat, and have your knees just knocking in, hands on the belly, eyes closed. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. A couple more like that. Just kind of breathe out the day. Let your mind not empty. You don't have to shove everything out and have this perfectly blank mind, but just kind of push aside everything that's racing through your mind. You can pick it up afterwards, but you want to give yourself this next hour if you can. It's a chance to just notice how you feel energetically and physically. So whether you have energy for a strong practice and you maybe need to take the harder options, or maybe your body actually needs you to go a little bit slower this evening. So have a think about that, and then you can take your class accordingly. And if there's a certain area that's been a little bit niggly today or last couple of days, just be considerate as we move, maybe improvise. Just deepen the breath in and out through the nose, so mouth or lips are gently shut. And be soft around the eyes and the jaw. So just make sure you aren't scrunching around the eyes or clenching in the jaw. No need to force it. Take one more big breath in. And big breath out. Just cactus both arms out to the side. Let both knees fall all the way over to the right and just gaze over to the left. So your first gentle twist through the spine, bit of an opening through the left hip, outside of the left hip. Big breath in. As you breathe out, see if you can take that left knee further over to the right. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift back through center. Knock your knees over to the left, gaze over to the right. Big stretch through the outside of that right hip, really trying to encourage your right knee far over to the left. And then bring it back to center. Just take both legs up towards the sky, have the feet together, knees together. There can be a soft bend. Take your hands to the back of the head, just lift the head, neck, shoulders slightly. Lower the legs, keep the belly pulling in, so don't go too low with the legs, just to a place where you start to feel it through the waist. Lift up a little bit more, pull in more, hold it 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Bring your knees back into your chest and just give yourself a hug, rock side to side. And cross one shin over the other, rock all the way up. Hands come forward, step back into downward facing dog. So take it back, pushing down into the hands. Hands spread nice and wide, so they're good shoulder width apart. And if you just glance to your hands, you can see the mat between the fingers. So don't be closed up through the hands. Have the fingers spread really nice and wide. Pushing into the knuckles, pushing into the fingers. Lifting through the shoulders, lifting through the hips. Big breath. And exhale. Long step, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Keep your back knee lifted, so you're strong in that back knee. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, 1. Stay active through that right thigh, so really engage your right glutes. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Big breath in. And 3. Slowly bring your left hand down. Step back into downward facing dog. Long step. Right foot all the way to the outside of the right hand. Back knee stays lifted. Engage your back thigh. Reach your right arm up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Reach wider across the chest. So really try and lift through the right fingertips. And at the same time, push down into your left hand. And then slowly bring that right hand down. Take it back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Roll forwards into a plank position. Knees come down. Elbows bend into the side of the waist. Lower all the way. Inhale, look forwards, shoulders draw back, toes point, crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling, glutes engage. Exhale, take it back down. Toes tuck, knees bend back into downward facing, waist pulls in, heels stretch away, take a breath. And exhale, let it go. Left leg high, breathing in. Just keep lifting that left leg back. So balance out through the shoulders, nice and even through the upper body. Pushing your right foot down towards the ground, lifting that left leg. And then bring your left knee in and step. Back knee can rest. Keep the toes tucked because we're going to rise all the way up in a moment. Lift your arms to the sky. Squeeze that right glute. So make sure you're active in the right hip. You're not just dropping into the front of your right hip. You're really trying to squeeze that right glute forwards. Make a fist with the hands so your knuckles can lift up towards the ceiling and then lift up and back with the arms. So it's quite a strong opening through the front of the body. Just make sure there's an element of lift before you go back. So you're trying to lift weight or compression out of the lower back, and then you can let the front of the body open and compress, shoulders together. So you're trying to squeeze between the shoulder blades, close the gap between the rhomboids. So not into the lower back, but you can squeeze and strengthen through the upper back. And then slowly bring both hands down. Place both hands to the floor. Back toe tucks and lifts off. Lift the back knee off the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out to the side. And then take them back. So again, this chance ease the shoulder blades. This is all stopped. Breathe in. The camera's froze. So I'm just going to put my. Now I feel like you've been there a while. What's going on? I'm going to unmute you, Katie, so you can.
I'm okay now. You just froze. I think it might be my Wi-Fi.
Okay, I've put my phone by the window.
You're freezing me as well, Jess.
And
Okay, I've
me.
put my phone by the window, so we'll see if it's that's a signal.
I'll try.
Okay, so your I don't know which foot was forwards. Maybe left, I think. Reach your arms up, and if not, we'll do both sides. Take a big breath. Arms out to the side, reach your fingertips back. So really try and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Soften your back knee and move a bit further forwards into that right hip. And then breathe in, lift your arms up to the sky. Open into warrior two. Turn your right toes out. Bend into your left knee. Breathe, lengthen across the arms. Reach nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. Exhale, two. Think about your footprint. We spoke about that a few weeks ago. Push into the toes, the outside edge of the foot and the heel, and then almost lift from the inner arch. Flip your left palm. Reach up to the ceiling. Big stretch through the left side of the body. Lifting from the hip, through the waist, through the ribs, through the shoulder. And then take both hands all the way down to the ground. Place your right knee down to the floor and bring your left hand inside of your left foot. Straighten your left leg. Pull the toes back to the face. So I'll just move my hand so you can see. So you're pulling that left thigh back so it's nice and strong. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Keep that left leg active. If you want to go further forwards, you can really extend and reach through the hands. Bow the forehead. So even more stretch through the back of the body. Breathe in and out. Big breath in and out. Push into both hands, come forwards, bend your front knee, tuck your back toes again, lift that back knee off the floor, turn your right toes out, keep your left hand down, reach your right arm up. So directly up to the ceiling. So think 12 o'clock with your right arm, 6 o'clock with your left arm. So you're not going forwards or back, but directly up. Pull the waist in. Breathe. And then push into your feet, warrior 2, rise up all the way. Breathe in and out. Big breath in and out. Windmill both hands down to the floor, step back, take it all the way into downward facing dog. So you're pushing into the hands and the feet, pulling in around the waist. Breath in, bring it forwards to a plank. Breath out, rest your knees. Elbows come into the side of the body. So really concentrate on that closeness of the elbows this evening. Inhale, look forwards, open the chest. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. By bringing the elbows into the side, we work a bit more on the tricep and the back of the shoulder rather than pinching into the front of the shoulder. Reach your right leg up to the sky. Lift that right leg nice and high. So balance through the upper body, not arching or leaning to one side. Bring your right knee in and step. First of all, rest your back knee down. Lift both arms up to the sky. Make a fist. So knuckles reach up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your left glute on, move forwards. Hands go up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out, up and back. Remember, not just back, they lift up and then go back. Big opening through the front of the body. Really lengthen through that left hip. And then slowly bring both hands down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, lift that back knee off the ground, rise up, high lunge. Breathe in. And breathe out. Arms out to the side of the room. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Bring the arms further back and then trust yourself to go further forwards into that left hip. In and out. Open into warrior 2. Right arm forwards, left arm back. Bend into your right knee. Think about the footprint. So lifting inside of the foot, pushing down into the outside. Flip your right palm. Lift the right arm up to the sky. Open through the right side of the body. Big breath in. And big breath out. Take both hands down to the floor. All the way down. Rest your back knee. Breathe here. Exhale. Then straighten your right leg. Pull your toes back. So slightly shifting your weight back, but just don't go any further back than a right angle at the back of your left knee. So try not to, I'll demonstrate, try not to go all the way back. So you're compressing that back knee. You want to keep plenty of space behind the back of the left knee. And then reach your body further forwards. Right thigh is strong, toes are pulling back to the face. Breathe in and out. Big breath in and out. I wonder if the signal is because there is a massive rainstorm just about to happen outside, which is not great because I thought we would do a heat wave. bend into your right knee, come forwards with both hands, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee off the floor, turn your left toes out to the left side of the room, right hand stays down, left arm lifts up. 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock with the arms. Open across the chest. Now push into your feet, rise up, warrior two. So as strong as you come up, hold it here, breathe. Arms are wide. Tailbone slightly tucks. It's not so easy to tuck under in this position, but think about pulling in through the front of the body and finding some length through the waist. Windmill both hands all the way down to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Roll forwards to your plank. Knees rest. Elbows slide past your waist, side of the body, rib cage, lower all the way down. Inhale, point your toes, lift your chest, squeeze your glutes, and then lift your feet off the floor as well. So there's a bit more strength through the back of the body. Crown of the head reaching forwards. Space between the base of the ears and the tops of the shoulders. So pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then let the feet go. Slide it back into a child's pose. Long stretch back. Breathe in and out. Now, if you're reaching your arms away and your elbows are off the floor, I want you to bring your hands back a couple of inches so that you can actually rest the elbows, rest the forearms. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Think about trying to make some space around the top of the shoulders and the base of your neck. You're trying to just iron out any tension that's sitting in the top of the shoulders. Breathe into the belly and really fill the belly with the breath. So don't be half-hearted with the breath, really try and expand into the belly. And then you can reach your hands back out. If you pull them back slightly to the body, reach them further away from you. Now push into your hands, rise all the way up, all fours. Tuck your toes, take it back, downward facing dog. Long through the arms, long through the backs of the legs. Breathing in, breathing out. Take your left leg high. As you lift that left leg up, you can bend the left knee, open the left hip. Whilst you're doing that, I want you to try and think about pulling your left heel towards the back of your left hip. So it's strong. You're not just kind of throwing that left leg open. I want you to think about trying to close the gap between the hamstring and the calf. And then bring the left knee forwards. See if you can step forwards without a sound. High lunge, rise up. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Bring that right hip slightly forward. So you're seeing me side on. So you want to imagine that if you looked through, if you had X-ray vision, you'd hit both hip bones. So I'm not holding that right hip back. I'm bringing it all the way forwards. So I'm trying to shine both hips forwards to the top of the yoga mat. And then open into warrior two. Big breath in. And out. Flip both palms, close the eyes, and just relax the shoulders. Notice how much you're holding them. And then palms face down. Maybe do that again. Flip both palms, soften the shoulders, and then palms face back down. Straighten your left leg. Shuffle your back foot in once or twice for triangle. You want to lean forwards from that left hip as much as you can. Reach and lengthen. Get to a place where there's no more room. You can't go any further forwards. Then the left hand comes down and the right arm lifts. And again, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock with the arms. What you have to try and do, and it comes with time, is trying to almost pull that left hip back underneath the body. So you're trying to take your left hip almost to the back of the mat, and your right hip is trying to come over. So you're trying to take your left hip under your right hip, which means you need space around the right hip and you need to have length through the left inner thigh. Now just soften that left knee a little, enough to take the tension off the hamstrings. Rise all the way up with the arms out wide. Turn your left toes in, so both toes face over to the right side of your room. Soften the knees a little. Fold all the way forwards and hold the backs of your ankles. Pull yourself into that fold. So can you close the gap between the upper body and the lower body? Almost imagine, could you send your upper body through your legs? You're pulling that much with the shoulders, with the biceps, the elbows, the wrists. Okay, and then hands down underneath the face. Walk your hands to your top of your mat and just turn and rest your right knee to the floor. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up, hands into a prayer position. Exhale, right elbow outside of left thigh into your twist. So make sure that twist isn't just the shoulders and the upper body, but if you inhale, pull the belly button in, and then exhale, take that twist all the way down through the center of the body. So it's a real twist down into the tummy. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. One more breath. And exhale. Look out in front of you. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, take both hands down. Be on your fingertips instead of the flats of your hands. So my fingers are either side of my front foot. So I've got a bit more length through my arms. If you tuck your back toes, straighten your right leg, push into your fingertips, and should be easier to take your left leg back. Then flatten the hands. Downward facing dog. So most of the reason we can't easily step forwards or back is a little bit of hip mobility, but also creating enough space underneath the chest. So we'll work on that again when we come to the other side. Take a big breath in, right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee, open your right hip. Lift your right knee up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Exhale. Try and close the gap between your right hamstring and your right calf. And then bring your right knee into the chest. Step your right foot forwards. Rise up, high lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out, soften that back knee. I'm just going to spin so I can better see you on this side. Take another big inhale. And exhale. Right arm forwards, left arm back, open into your warrior two. Length through the spine. So see if you can close your eyes, sit your hips an inch lower, and then lift the crown of your head an inch higher. Feel that stretch through the spine. Straighten your right leg. Shuffle your back foot in once or twice. I go for twice, but once might be enough. Reach forwards from your right hip, lengthen. Get to this place where there is no way you can go any further. And then take your right hand down to the shin, lift your left arm up to the sky. Big breath. Exhale. In and out. Think about making the right side of your body as long as the left side. 2 more breaths. Final one. Now soften your right knee just slightly, it doesn't need to be much. Lift yourself all the way up, arms are wide. Turn your right toes, so both toes are facing slightly in, you've got a wide stance. Hands down to the floor, forward fold, relax the body forwards. Hands just come to the ground, support yourself as you try and shift the weight forwards into the front of the feet. So your heels just ever so slightly lift. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Reach your hands through your legs to the other side of the room and almost imagine someone's got your hands and they're pulling you. So really try and pull yourself into a stronger fold. So it takes a bit of balance. You can maybe grip your big toes into the mat and try and pull through. Then release, hands come beneath the face. Walk them over towards the right foot and just rest your back left knee to the floor. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands into prayer. Twist left elbow outside of your right thigh. Really encourage that twist all the way down to the sacrum, so all the way down to the base of the spine. Pull the navel in as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, there should be a bit more room to twist. Breathe in. More room to twist. One more breath. And exhale. Lift your arms up to the sky, look forwards, big breath. And then as you exhale, both hands outside of that right foot again. So you're framing the right foot and you're on your fingertips rather than your hands. Push into your fingertips, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the floor, arch through the upper back slightly, then you can step that right leg back. Rest both knees. Walk your hands in. Keep the toes tucked. So keep that stretch through the soles of the feet. Place the hands onto the outside of the ribs. Take a nice big deep breath. And exhale, let it go. Nice big deep breath. And exhale. Come forwards to both hands and both knees. Just give the feet a little bit of a shake out if that was strong through the toes, and just pat them out to the floor. And then take it back into downward facing dog. Lengthen the backs of the legs. Breathe in. And out. Bring your feet and your hands together. So walk your feet and hands together, folding forwards. Crown of the head facing down to the floor. So if you're looking forwards, try and just drop the chin into the chest. Makes it an awful lot easier for yourself. Roll up through the spine, really slow. Take your time. Rise to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take your right hand, hold around your left wrist. Side bend over to the right. So you're almost pulling that left arm. Big stretch. And then back to center. Left hand holds around your right wrist and arch over to the left. Back to center. And then arms down by the side. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Bend into both knees and take your right leg over your left, like you're sitting on a chair. a wobbly chair in my case. Arms out to the side. Right arm over your left. So left arm under, right arm over. And then grab your thumb or your fingers and just hold it there. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is raining so hard. It's unbelievable. Try and go a little bit lower. And you can either stay here, or what you can do is push your elbows and your forearms away from you. So now you've almost got some space in the front of the body, and lean forward so your elbows come over your knees. So it's a big stretch into the back of the shoulders. Just changes the balance. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift back up and release. Give everything a shake out. Big breath. Exhale. Bend into both knees again. And take your left leg this time over your right. Arms out wide. Right arm under, left arm over. Hold it here. Breathe. Navel to spine. And you're either holding it there, or you're trying to push your forearms away from you and lean over your thighs. So your elbows come over your knees and you're looking down. Breathe in and out. Slowly rise up. Rise up and then shake it out. Shake through both legs, through the arms. Chin into chest. Roll it down. Curl through the spine. Take your time, no rush. You're going to come to the bottom, and either you take your first 2 fingers and you hook around your big toe and you pull yourself down. In fact, we'll do both. So you can all hook around your big toe and pull. So this is the first option. So you're trying to strengthen, take your elbows out to the side as they bend, really pull. Use your grip. Okay, and then release, let that go. Second option, lift your feet so you're just on your heels. So I've slightly rocked my weight back, so I've lifted my toes up towards the sky. Slide your hands underneath your feet. It doesn't matter how bent your knees are, so you're stepping on your hands. Your big toe is coming to the base of your thumb. And then here, really try and let the head relax. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. So release off your hands. Just give the fingers a little bit of a wriggle. Take your hands down to the floor and step to all fours, hands and knees. Take a big breath in. Look forwards, open the chest. Out, arch around. Breath in, look forwards. Take your time, opening through the chest, pulling the shoulders back. Exhale, arch and round. And then a nice neutral line through the spine. Your left foot, slightly take it out to the left side of your yoga mat, so you're a bit more stable in that all fours position. Then take your right foot to the back of the mat, reach your right arm up, lift, and then take that right arm overhead and almost imagine you've got a really heavy weight in that right hand and it's being pulled down towards the floor. So that right side of the body is really opening and lengthening. Stretch the outside edge of your right foot down, so you're almost trying to ground into that right foot. Feel the length through that right side. Big breath in and out. Slowly come back to all fours. Just close the eyes and notice how the left side feels in comparison to the right side. Tuck your toes, stretch back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Roll forwards to a plank. You can rest your knees if you like, or you can keep the knees lifted and lower halfway, all the way down if the knees are to the ground, and then inhale baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pull the belly in, back into downward facing. Breathe. Rest your knees. Right foot slightly kicks out to the right side. Left leg travels back. Left arm lifts. And then left arm comes overhead. You're reaching for the front of the room. So you're really stretching. Can you push your left foot down into the floor? You might feel it first of all around the waist, and then maybe it travels to the hip or the ribs, the shoulders. And bring it back, both hands and both knees. Close the eyes. Hopefully not so much of a contrast left to right this time. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Roll it forwards to a plank. Lower halfway or all the way. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. Upward facing, you want to really drive down into the hands. Everyone, knees down. Slide back into a child's pose. Forehead to the floor. And then instead of reaching your arms away, bring them down so your hands reach past your feet. And just notice that you can really soften in the shoulders. Breathing in and out. In and out. Reach your hands forwards, and just, if you're already at the top of the mat, you can stay there, but I think most of you will be near the back. So just shuffle forwards, come towards the top of your mat. Take your knees out wide and your toes touch, and then sit back. So you have a V shape through the legs. Lean back slightly into the fingers. Lift your hips and really just tuck your tailbone, quite an aggressive tuck under, so you really feel that posterior tilt, and you should feel a pull through the front of the thighs. And you can literally leave it there, and each time you feel it settle, you just want to lift the hips and try and tuck under a little bit more. It's a strong opening through the knees. So if your knees are a bit sensitive, it might not be that pleasant. You can always just come off, take a seat, and we'll meet there. If you want to, you can go a bit further back, so you might rest to elbows. Again, still lifting and tucking the pelvis. Breathe. So pull the waist in, tuck under. Think about stretching the knees away. So you stay very active. And then use your hands, wherever you are, bring it all the way up. Just come forwards enough so that you take the pressure off the shins, cross your legs, and have a seat. Legs out wide, so take a big V shape through the feet. Toes pull back to the face. Spin both hands, face over to the left leg, and walk your fingers either side of that left foot, trying to bring the body down. Breathe in, lift through the spine again, so really lengthen, and then breathe out, fold. use that almost exaggerated breath for a couple more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And then you can settle there. Look to the shin. Maybe rest your forehead down. Breathe in and out. I don't have one to hand, but if you do, you could always use a block. I'll show you. It depends where you, how far down you are and how big your block is, but it's nice to be able to rest. So, I mean, I've just got that resting on my shin, but it is nice to be able to rest your body weight forwards and you're at home so that you know only your sweaty forehead has been on the block. You're not in the studio. Breathe in and out. In and out. Slowly lift yourself up. Just take your block over if you know that you're going to need it after. Hands either side of the right leg, big inhale. And then exhale, kind of walk your hands away, pull yourself forwards. Breathe in, lift and lengthen. Breathe out, fold. Just each time there's this little chance to move a bit further forwards. So just creeping a little bit further forwards with the breath. And then again, maybe using a block. Slowly lift up. Take your block out to the side and bring both legs together. And you're going to bend your left knee. So left foot comes outside of your right hip. Right leg goes over. So I'm trying to get my feet to the outsides and have a shuffle around through the hips. Then you're trying to line your knees up. So one knee will be over the other. Might not be, and they don't need to be perfect, but you're trying to get that right knee all the way over. Then anchor your feet down with your hands. So I like to push into my feet. Try and glue both seat bones down to the floor, especially that right side. Lean. Try and take your belly and your chest over that right thigh. Glue and push that right seat bone down. Breathe in. Breathe out. You might find that you're actually stable enough through the legs that you could reach your arms out in front of you, but you might find that you need to keep the hands holding things in place. Really easy breaths. So we start off by stretching the muscles around the hips, and then we get a little bit deeper, a bit closer to the joint. So you're kind of working into the tendons, stretching around the joint capsule. Bring it up. Keep your legs as they are. Doesn't matter if they move a little. Take your right arm out to the side. Lift your left arm up, and there's a side bend over to the right. Breathe. Move the belly with the breath. Slowly come back. And then take your legs out. Give them a good shake around. This time it's the right foot and knee that's on the bottom, and your left one that's on the top. So you have to bring that left foot all the way around. Shimmy your hips so that they're both, you want both bony seat bones to be touching down into the floor, especially that left side. And then push into your feet, lean over the left thigh. So you might find it's easier to go right. Try and come either central or even a little bit over to the left. And you'll see that it's stronger around that left hip if you do that. You can leave your hands on your feet or you can bring your arms in front of you. Good release around the hips. And it takes a bit of time, so you almost have to be patient with it to really get into the hip joints. Lift and take your left hand out to the side. Reach your right arm up so you get a big side bend through the right. You can even push down a little bit into that left hand actually. So you're almost kind of pushing into the left hand and trying to reach over with the right. Okay, then slowly bring it back. Take both legs out, give them a shake. Make sure you've got space behind you. We're going to be rolling back. So just rolling back, easy roll back. You don't need to, no, too much effort. Just rolling the body back down to the floor. One glute bridge, so feet are flat, arms down by the side. Tuck your tailbone, pull your waist in and roll all the way up. Lift. Breathe in. And breathe out. Really strengthen through the back of the body. Push down into the feet. Anchor through the feet. Use your glutes. Strong in the hamstrings as well. 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll it down. Knees in. Happy baby. Take your feet. Lift them up and away. You might like to stretch the hamstrings or keep it more gentle. Nice bend in the knees. Sway side to side. Breathe in. And out. In. And out. And then take your left foot, reach all the way to the very bottom corner of the mat. And then the same with the right, sorry. So both legs really fully stretch as long as they can. Take the arms out wide, fill the space around you. If you have plenty of space, use it. Turn the palms so they face up towards the ceiling. Let your toes turn out so the ankles relax, knees, hips. And take a couple of really big breaths all the way in through the nose. Hold it at the top. And then a big sigh out. Couple like that where you go all the way into the very top. Add a slight pause at the top of the breath. And then a really big sigh out. Another one if you need it. And then just be there. And when we started practice, we had this chance to see how we felt physically. And I said energetically, what your energy levels were like when you were coming to practice this evening. And so just notice how you feel now. And that idea of a nice, calm, peaceful mind, not one that you've had to totally wipe clean, but one that's just settled. You can even bring a little smile to the face and just feel your energy lift now again. Bring your knees in. Give them a big hug. And rock it all the way up. Cross your legs, sit tall. Hands to the knees. Breathe in. And out. Hands to prayer heart center. And bow your chin into your chest. Just thank yourself for making time to come and practice this evening. I'm sorry for the little signal hiccup.